Well, it's Thursday, April the 27th, 2017. Days where there's animals. Animals? Bob, where in the world do you get off with animals on a Devo? Well, in the beginning, God. Well, he got me there. Yeah, it's true. So, animals are such a great part of life. It's amazing. We have a little Chihuahua, a little tiny, called Chi-Chi the Chihuahua. Vote for Chi-Chi for president. That's what the family always says. With all the troubles we're having right now, they said, we should have voted for Chi-Chi for president. So, and we have another big dog named Scooby, and we've got 15 chickens and a couple of ducks, and we just added 2 more turkeys, and we've got Cat, and got 2 other little raggedy tag dogs. A lot of animals and tons of a couple of real birds in a little cage, and we've got lots of hummingbirds and regular birds. And then my Monday assignment gave me a bunch of wonderful bird feeders, and so we're just like we're stocked for bear for animals. And they always say that you can tell about a person by how they treat their animals. And I just saw an interview about Little House on the Prairie and Michael Landon. And Michael Landon, of course, he was on Bonanza and the Little House on the Prairie and God Sent an Angel, or whatever that show was. And Michael Landon, he was always very, very careful. He's very caring of the animals. And the girls that were on the show with him on the Little House on the Prairie said he was always like so nice to everybody on the crew, and he's very professional, and they had a nice family. I am very grateful for the Lord's gracing me with little animals. When I was a little boy, I had a little dog named Georgie, and I remember they had the earthquake back in 71 or 7. It had to be 70, 71 maybe. A big earthquake happened. I remember the bed shaking and the house shaking, and my little dog, I had my little dog with me, and I just thought, wow. And animals can detect things before people can. If there's going to be some sort of an emergency, the animals know. They seem to be able to tell. When I'm going to come out and feed the chickens, they know. They have like little telltale signs. They know. We had a trip to Disneyland recently, and on that trip to Disneyland, we had the occasion to park the car. Wow, that's unusual, Bob. You parked the car? Yeah, we parked the car, and we got out, and there was more dogs than at the kennel show. All kinds of dogs, drug sniffing dogs. They were sniffing, and of course there was nothing in our party that had anything, and there was nothing I ever saw that ever came up. But just in case there was somebody that had something that wasn't quite right, these drug sniffing dogs would sniff them out. Boy, they'd get them. And there's service dogs. Now, I was at the Walmart, and I saw animals just seemed like it was like a zoo. It's a food store. They're feeding people with food, and and here's this dog out there. I thought, wow. I whispered, so I said, ma'am, that person there has a dog. And they said, yeah, I know. Well, they aren't supposed to have it. Well, yeah, I know. I said, well, why aren't we going to do anything? Well, because I know. I said, what do you know, ma'am? She says, well, we've been talking to them, and they don't want to. It's a big problem. I say, what are they claiming they're a service dog? Yeah. Everybody has a service dog. Everybody's dog is a service dog. Drooling, mongrels, pit bulls, they're all service dogs. They're serving the dogs. I thought, wow, what's wild. Service dogs, huh? So, but there are dogs that really are service dogs. Boy, I'll tell you, I mark my words. When I go to do the Devo, it's time to start yawning. I knew of a fella that had a really beautiful dog that would pick things up for him and help him scout around, order help. There are even dogs that can dial 911. They're given a certain kind of a phone, and they know how to dial it to get help. question too in Christendom, whether or not dogs and animals are going to be in heaven. The dogs have to go to heaven. I love them so much. Some people get a little bit carried away with their love of dogs. They love dogs and cats and animals more than they love people, I think. And they treat them nicer too. And dogs always seem to have that. They model, especially a dog. I'm a dog guy, I guess you can tell. They just have that acceptance that at the same time, they can be injured and hurt. I've seen dogs that are just mean, because some person, a large person, a man, was mean to them, and so then they're all over me. They're like mean to me. One of our big dogs that is in the family, he is real skittish of me, and I've never been anything but 100%, nice and gracious and kind and just awesome to this dog. But the dog is just kind of skittish. It'll come up and it'll be real nice with me, and then if I make any kind of movement, then it takes off like so fast, you just can't believe it. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. I think that's probably one of the best things about animals, is that they show the goodness of God. I love this guy. He's revving his engine, and he's leaving rubber, and he's going, and he's jerking his car. He's getting into the red light, and I'm like, just cruising along, I'll be passing him in a minute. I didn't have to accelerate my engine or skid any brakes or anything. There's an Altadena dairy here on the side. I get my eggnog from these folks when it comes to the time. Yeah. Well, animals can tell us a lot, and it's amazing about animals because they're so intricate, they're so interesting, they're so different than anything else ever. Animals are just the greatest. I love animals. And you just wonder, look at all the different variety of animals, and look at all the different shapes and sizes, and we can learn from animals how to do things. And a lot of our animated features, like The Lion King, I think you're going to have a remake of that. James Earl Jones is going to come back as the voice of the Papa. And kids like animals. Kids like little rats and mice and kitty cats, and animals are just so cute. And then elephants, it's amazing. We don't even really understand everything about animals. We don't understand everything about creatures and what they can teach us, and the patience, the kindness, the love, the gentleness. There was that professor, that lady that went over to Africa, and she decided to live with a bunch of baboons or monkeys, and so she lived there like 25 years, 30 years with them, and she got to know every single one of them, and she became really part of the family for them. It was amazing. All right, well, you may not have a bunch of animals to take care of. You may not like animals. Maybe you're not an animal person, but I think that we can all appreciate that God is so good. God is so good. God is so good, and He made all these animals, and He made them, and they express a part of His creativity, a part of His fiery nature, a part of who He is expressed in the animals that He made. So may the Lord bless you today. May you be kept in strength and grace and power in Jesus' name. Love you so much. If you just accepted the Lord today, you said, you know what, Bob's right. Boy, these animals, it's amazing what God has done, and God is an amazing God, and He died on the cross, and He died for my sins, and I want to be forgiven. Then go ahead and just accept the Lord right now, and just give me a call or call somebody and say, hey, I just accepted Jesus, and I'd like to get my Bible, and I want to get to a Bible-believing church. And if you want to reach me, you can call me at 213-713-8954 or 8954-GREEN at att.net, on the Twitter at Mr. Bob at BobBob8954, and of course, you're watching Bob's Daily Devo on YouTube. I'll talk to you real soon. God bless you. And I'm back to the salt mines here. I just about wrapped up all my errands, and now I'm going to go back and get back in the field and saw and dig and take out a couple stumps, and hopefully get all the land all leveled out, and have my concrete contractor come out and give me the gold seal, and I'll be ready to go. All right, until next time, this is Bob. Love you. And I can't wait for our open house hospitality potluck. Let me know when it'll be a good day for you. God bless. Bye.